How good. Sandown, GT3s. That is an amazing combo. We're straight into qualifying in the Audi R8. This is our second lap because, as you may know if you regularly do iRacing, especially in GT3s, the first lap is pretty much just a banker. The second lap, when everything's warm, that's when you want to hit it. Braking just after the 100 board on the right hand side of turn 1, taking as little curb as you can on the inside. Braking at the dirt patch there, trying to take not too much curb, because if you do, you slide out wide like I just did there. Now you want to just brush that curb on the inside there on the left. You don't want to hit it too much, because otherwise your car will bounce when you can't get traction to get up this long straight, which will lose a massive amount of time. Could be the difference between the front row and the last row. Braking just after the hump in the road here, back down to 5th. You don't want to cut too much of this right-hander here because it will give you a massive slowdown. Back to 1st here, just to get the car stopped, and 2nd to get it out under the Penrite Bridge here. Coming into the last section here, and you want to brake just after the 50 board on the right-hand side, back down to 2nd, and you want to just brush the inside curb here, back to 1st to accelerate out. And you want to hold the tight line here, just so you get a shorter run to the line, so hopefully it can help improve your time. With a time of 1:08.212, we are just under a tenth off pole in P4. Starting the race. This is what you've all been waiting for. P4 behind the 3 Porsches ahead of me. We're on the right hand side, running down to turn 1. The 2 in front of us are already trying to get slipstream. 20-minute race. I don't want to play games too early. I'm just going to play it safe. There's a car on my inside, being really careful into the corner here. Car goes out wide, so I send it back around the right hand side. Brakes early to cover me off. I have a little bit of a slide there and nearly lose the car massively, but we're still in it. But while this is happening, poor Ethan in his Ferrari gets too close to the Lamborghini there and hits the BMW. BMW comes back on, hits the Lamborghini, and hits Ethan in the Ferrari. That was a very lucky Ferrari to make it through there. Unfortunately, with the damage sustained in that incident, Ethan will unfortunately pull over here and tow back to pits. With that underway, let's get back to our race. We're sitting P4 with Ben in the BMW sitting fair up our clacker. This is a long run down to turn 6, and I don't want to give any hopes at a move for him. So I cover it off early into the braking zone. Try not to get that slowdown there. As I mentioned before, it's massive. Took a little bit too much curb there, just trying to make sure that Ben doesn't get any ideas. And we're down into the last section here. Not a bad first lap, starting P4 and finishing P4. That is the end of lap 1. Skipping ahead to lap 5, because nothing really happened in the first 4 laps. The 3 Porsches in front of me changed positions a few times, but that's it. We've caught up to Tom in the Castrol car now. We're just trying to put the pressure on here as we go into turn 1. We want to make the move pretty quick, so pressure is our best friend here. We want to get away from Ben behind us. He's been glued to our bum. But wait, what was that? That's the leader. He's turned around. Let's see how this happened. He's going through, loses the rear a little bit there, takes the corner too shallow, and jumps on the accelerator like he normally would, and has looped it. Now he has to watch everyone drive past. That is the worst feeling in racing ever. Chasing down Tom in the Porsche again, trying to just get as close as I can and just get in his mirrors a little bit, hoping that he makes a mistake to let me get through. Coming into the braking zone here, and he goes way too deep, which is showing our pressure is working. That is good to know for me and also for him, because I can send sort of a dummy here. I wasn't expecting him to brake so early, which is sort of why it wasn't really a dummy move. I sort of went side by side, but we made it through alive, and we're going into turn 1 on lap 6. Coming down, I'm trying to show the nose a little bit, but I'm not close enough to make the move, so I just sort of sit back and wait for something else to happen. I nearly lose the car, which is definitely not ideal. I now have Luke Newing behind me, which is one of my teammates, but still scary nonetheless. He's so much quicker. Jump on the brakes, and old mate's going to loop it. It's good for me. I'm now sitting P2 with Aaron in front of me, but I am going to let Newing go past. He is so much quicker. As I said before, I don't want to risk his race or my race battling, pretty much. So I'm going to let him go after Aaron and hopefully pick up some sort of pieces, which unfortunately coming onto lap 13 is going to happen. Newing goes for a move into turn 1 and they collide. Unfortunately, this is the roof cam from Newing's car. They brake and he just hits the right rear corner of Aaron's car. Aaron sort of comes across a little bit, but Newing wasn't far enough up. We sort of deemed it a racing incident, sort of. Like, Newing wasn't far enough up, but you don't normally shallow off the corner that much if you're the Porsche. Newing did take fault though, which is good on him. It's the way we do it here at SES. If you make a mistake, you own it. But lap 17, 2 laps to go. It's not what I thought, but we have 2 laps to go. And Ben is going to send a massive bomb on me. So, you know, in a normal stance, I'd sit back and go, okay, I'll try and sit back and find out where he's weak and try and make a move from there. Make him make a mistake. But coming around the last corner, I look at my relative and realize it's the final lap. I have to move quick if I want this to work. The weakest point from a driver ever is when you've just made an overtake. So we're coming into turn 1. He stops late on the apex and leaves just enough room for an Audi to squeeze in there. I send it in there and hope that sticks, and it does. I'm pretty proud of that. He tries to send it back, but I know on the outside I'm going to have the traction to get around the corner. Looking back off my car again, we've got the BMW of Ben, the Mercedes of Jack, and the Audi of Specky, one of our other teammates. We're coming into turn 6 now, and you don't want to be side by side, so smart, Jack backs out. Single file through there, and watch this. There is an Audi. Oh, tight move, fair bump, play on. No one ended up off the road. They're 3 wide now. Thank God I'm not in this. Specky's on the outside for this corner, which is where you want to be considering you get the inside for the next one. But they make contact, and Jack comes around to take P3. I will never complain about a P2, especially for the first race of the week. P2 behind our teammate Luke Newing and Luke Speck in 4th. Unfortunately, Ethan lost 108 iRating after that lap 1 shunt, but we've gained 0.21 safety and 75 iRating. Let's get it again. Heading into the second race here, I'm not going to bore you with the full qualifying lap like I did in the last one. I qualified P3 with a 107.418, which is 1/10 off pole and 8/10 quicker than the lap I did in the previous qualifying session. Now, this was actually my 4th race of the week, not my 2nd. I did 6, but I just picked 2 random races to show you, just so the video wasn't too long, and because it's my first video. It's race time. Starting P3 on the inside, and I can't believe I did that. I got caught napping. Old mate's legged it. I'm still mad. Watching this back, I'm just mad. I got caught lacking, and P2's blocking. That should have been me. But here we are. I have to accelerate late just to make sure I don't run too far off and sit behind the Porsche just to keep my options open. I don't want to lose too much time behind to our friend Ethan that was before, who also drives for SES sometimes. But my goal is also to build a gap to him right now and stick to the leaders, because I know just how fast he is. So if I can glue myself to the rear bar of these cars, hopefully I can stick in the slipstream and they can just drag me with them. But I underestimated their pace. Skipping ahead to lap 10. I know it is a massive jump, but look at that. 4.1 seconds ahead of me is P2. That is crazy. Lap 14 now, and they are 1.6. So they've been battling, and I've been putting in some pretty decent laps, I think, to catch up. Lap 15 now, and they are 0.7 seconds away to P1. I feel like I'm catching up. I can sniff a P2. But lap 16 comes around, and old mate's 1.1 seconds ahead. They're just gapping me again. Can't believe it. Oh, coming on to the final lap now. 1.3 seconds to the leader. But last lap. This is where the big moves happen. Turn 1, nothing. But into here, look at that. Scott's going for a bomb and misses his braking marker completely. Sends it off, but we're in P2 now. So all we have to do is come around these last two corners clean, and we've secured P2. I'm never going to complain about a podium, but let's check out what Scott did now. This is the view from his car. Massive bomb and just completely goes off. Missed his braking marker by a mile. Comes back on the track at a 45. Well, there's Ethan without a front bar. This has more context we need to check. So looking rearward from my car, check out this rejoin. This was the car in P1. Straight back out. Me personally, if I saw a car coming like that and I went off, I'd stay off the track until they got past, especially with the massive gap that Ethan had behind him. You could still secure P4. I know races race, but that was a crazy rejoin. Another P2 in the bags for me. Only half a second off the leader in the end. Ethan in P4 with 35 iRating gain, and me with 0.71 safety and 67 iRating. If you've made it to the end of the video, just know I appreciate you, and I would greatly appreciate a subscribe. I'm going to try and pump out some more content like this, so if you enjoyed it, please like it, comment on it, let me know how I can improve, as this is my first video, and follow me on my other socials, my Twitch and my Instagram, Hayden Sim Racing. I appreciate you. Thank you. Bye.